Welcome to Shom Achshav on the Daf. We're holding in Chulin Daf Yud Beis. The Gemara in Yud Beis says, "Mantana de lebeinen kavono l'shchito." Who's the man that holds you don't have to have kavono and shchito? Says the Gemara, Omarova Rabbi Nosani. Who's Rav Nosan? The Tanya Oshaya Ze'irah the min chavrayo. He brought a brisa where it says that Rav Nosan does not require kavono. The Mefarshim are very busy with his name. Oshaya Ze'irah the min chavrayo. What does this name mean? So Rashi lekamon and Daf Lamed Aleph, his name is mentioned as well. Rashi there brings two explanations. Pshat number one, it says Ze'irah de min chavrayo means he was the youngest from Bnei Yeshiva. Ze'ir HaYeshiva. The Oshaya points out that makes sense, that fits in the lashon. Shayo Ze'irah de min chavrayo, the youngest from Bnei Yeshiva. The Ram doesn't like this because the Ram says they should have said Oshaya Ze'irah min chavrayo, from the yeshiva. What is dem min chavrayo? The min chavrayo doesn't fit over here. And the Mashal is saying Adarabah. The Mashal is mashma more like this pshat in Rashi. Rashi there in Daf Lamed Aleph brings another pshat. Says Nira, I hold the Oshaya Ze'irah Hayaniko. His name was Oshaya Ze'irah, the small Oshaya. The min chavrayo shebnei yeshiva, meaning not that he was the youngest of Bnei Yeshiva. His name was Oshaya Ze'irah. And he was among Bnei Yeshiva. The Taisis and the Ran over here say differently. Say min chavrayo means from the place. It's the name of a location. The Chidah over here in the Pesach Hinaim, he says he thinks the private pshat is that there were two Oshayas in the yeshiva. There were two Oshayas. So one of them they called him the bigger Oshaya, and one they called him the small Oshaya. But he's mayor. The Lechur could have said if so, just Oshaya, the bigger Oshaya, and the regular Oshaya. Why have to say Oshaya Ze'irah? And he says, really, that's Rashi and Tainis, because the Gemara in Tainis of Chodalid brings also a story of Oshaya Ze'irah min chavrayo regarding that the Nasi tried to do a Tainis for rain, and no rain came. So came Oshaya Ze'irah and said, you know why no rain came? Because the leaders, Am Yisrael depends on the leaders, and the leaders have a problem, if the Einei have a problem, so Am Yisrael they suffer as well. So Rashi there says, what is Ze'irah min chavrayo? Ze'ir Shebei Yeshiva was the younger one. There were two Oshayos, so they call them Oshaya Ze'irah, and the Chidah discusses if the Rashi in Tainis is Rashi as well, or is a different Mefarish. So different Biurim, why is he called that way? But the Mefarshim seem to be bothered, but why would you call someone the youngest in the yeshiva? Ze'ir Shebei Yeshiva. The mashma that he's the katan, he's the smallest one. That's how you call him, that's the name. In other words, seems to be a derogatory way to call somebody. So the Baal Shalom Meshiv in his Sefer Divrei Shol says, look, at the end of the Gemara in Soito, it says that they nickname somebody Katnusom Shechasidim. What is Katnus Shechasidim? Says the Ram Pirush Mishnah that he is the Tamtsisom Shechasidim. Meaning he is the Shoyrish, he's the source, everybody depends on him. Because usually the source, the Shoyrish, is something which is small. So says the Baal Shalom Meshiv, that's what it means over here. He was the Katan, not because he was young, because he was the shoyrish of all the Talmidim in the yeshiva. The Yunil in Tiny says a little different shot. He says the idea is to show that he was an Anav, that he was humble. And he says that's the shot that is called the Tzur Shabbat Talmidim, not because that's what other people thought about him. That's what he thought about himself. He looked at himself as the Tzur Shabbat Talmidim. He looked at himself in such a way because he was so humble. And he made that shot there in the Gemara in Tainis. The Gemara tells us that he gave Musar to the Anshe Nasi. He says probably the reason why the Tefillah was not Nene because they had Gaiva. So in order to give Musar to them, he had to be the opposite. That's why he's called there specifically in the Gemara in one of the places in Shas he's called Ze'irah, because he's the Anov who's giving Musar to the one who Bali Gaiva. And maybe Efshal Derech Zeh to say that's Pshat in our Gemara as well. The real reason why we're focusing on the Ze'irah, because we want to say that he's coming to say that even a Katan could do Shchita. Means including also, now you don't have to have such a big machshava, everybody can be included. So we're focusing on his name Ze'irah, which represents his hanaval. So this is a summary of the discussion that we have regarding the name Oshaya Ze'irah de min chavrayo. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor Shom Machshava Shirim, please email shommachshava@gmail.com.